It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. Woo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Hope all is well on this fine Friday. I must say, I like having the show on Fridays. This is a good day to have the show. Because I remember, Monday, that Sunday night trying to prepare this and the other show. Yeah, so I'm kind of cool with this. I like this. I hope y'all like Fridays too. But anyway, we have a great show for you this evening. We have an inspiration point that will keep you all full of the Holy Spirit and the alert. Yes, hallelujah. We have a Leave Me Alone segment that will absolutely keep you in stitches tonight. And this week is gonna be pretty funny. In my head, it's gonna be funny. I don't know what's gonna happen when it actually shows up, but hopefully you guys will enjoy. Anyway, in our Turntable Rewind segment, which is our music nostalgia segment, we're gonna go back to the year 1996. We're gonna go over the number one song, the number one album, number one movie, and we're also gonna talk about Michael Jackson impersonators being salty about not being casted in MJ's biopic coming up in April. Yes, I'm going to talk about this biopic and Michael Jackson all the way until April, so get used to it. Anyway, in our uncomfortable conversation, we're going to talk about the NAACP and how they don't really care about Black people. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Anyway, we'll go over that. We'll unpack that. And in our politics fix, we're going to go over the government's open. And what is your plan to get off SNAP, you brokies? All that and more coming up on the RANT Experience. Thank you for tuning into the RANT Experience. This episode is brought to you by our official merch store, AJsRANTroom.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you get new uploads and live streams hot off the presses. We drop a new episode of the RANT Experience every Friday, and now it's time for a politics fix. So right now, the 40-day plus government shutdown is finally over, and I need to have a real conversation with some of y'all, not all of y'all, but a little bit of y'all, a little piece. And y'all probably not even the ones watching this show, but I'm going to have the conversation anyway, because not to disrespect you, not to judge you, but to challenge you. Because pressure reveals truth. And these last few weeks exposed a whole lot. I think we even did a whole segment on this, but we have to revisit things to make sure people don't forget, because we get a little forgetful in this microwave, fast-paced media world that we live in. So for those of you who found yourselves in a complete panic because you thought the government was about to leave you hungry, if you spent the last month refreshing your app, praying your benefits didn't run out, but you're able-bodied. So I'm not talking about disabled people, and I'm not talking about the elderly, and I'm not even talking about people who are really down on their luck, because life happens to all of us, right? So those are the folks I'm exempting. I always exempt them from the conversation, so you are over there. It don't apply, and just let it fly, right? But I am talking to the able-bodied person, the career welfare recipient, the person who thinks welfare is a right. It's something you're entitled to. You're healthy and perfectly capable of working. You're the ones I'm talking to, and I've got a question. What is your exit plan? Exit plan. Because this right here, this shutdown was your preview. This was your free trial of the socialism a lot of you swear you want. You want the government to feed you, house you, clothe you, pay your bills, raise your kids, handle your emergencies. But as you just saw, when the government sneezes, your entire world catches pneumonia. And that's not stability. That's not safety. That's not empowerment. That's dependence. And dependence will always make you a hostage. See, some of y'all love to chant, the government should take care of us. You know, where's my food stamps? And if I'm not going to get mine, we going to go steal. Until the government quietly goes kaput for 40 days, 40 plus days. The government was shut down, and you realize the people you all put your trust in can barely tie their shoes, let alone keep you afloat. I'm not mocking you. I'm warning you, you know. Now that the shutdown is over, yes, SNAP benefits are being released, but here's the part the media won't emphasize. The Trump administration is requiring everyone on SNAP to reapply. Everyone. So that includes the exempt groups. Why are we requiring this? Because of fraud. Yeah. Because of able-bodied people who've been on this system for decades. Yeah, that's why. And naturally, the internet is already crying, oh, they're trying to punish the poor people. No, we're trying to empower you. They're trying to clean out the system. They're trying to weed out the people who've been double dipping, lying, flipping cards, claiming dependents that don't live with them, running up taxpayer dollars while walking around with fresh laces, fresh lashes, fresh Jordans, fresh iPhones, and no fresh pay stubs. I'm a little confused here. So this isn't oppression. This part right here is called accountability. This is the part of adulthood too many folks have skipped. And trust me, accountability is not easy. You know, there are times where you want to lay back and just, you know, cry a little bit and nestle in your little drama. But then you got to get the hell up, make it happen. You can't rest there for too long. Like one of my mentors used to say, you can't sit in it for too long. So give yourself a time limit. Is it an hour? Is it 2 hours? Is it a day? You know, but it can't be too long. But let's talk numbers, because the numbers are screaming louder than any politician. 42 million Americans on SNAP. 42 million. That is not a sign of a struggling economy. That's a sign of a struggling mindset. That means 42 million people are relying on Uncle Sam to put food in their bellies every single month. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not survival, that's stagnation. And again, I'm talking to the people who are able-bodied and get their asses to work. That's not compassion, that's control. That's not community, that's captivity. Look, I get it. Hard times happen, people lose jobs, people have setbacks. Some folks genuinely need the support, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when able-bodied adults, grown people, settle into government benefits like it's a lifestyle, like it's a generational inheritance, like the government is supposed to sustain them forever, that's when the problem becomes cultural. And if these last 40 days taught you anything, it should be this. The government will never be your safety net. The government will never be your security. The government will never be your stability. The government will do what benefits them, not you. So again, I ask, what is your exit plan? I'm not asking for your excuse, not your complaint, not your fear, your plan. Because living on SNAP might feel comfortable, but staying there forever is like building a house on a sinkhole. One shift and everything you depend on collapses. You should want more for yourself. You should want more for your kids. You should want more for your legacy. And that starts with breaking out of the mental cages that tells you survival is good enough. It's not thriving. And that should be your goal. Ownership is the goal. Freedom is the goal. And freedom cannot exist if you're waiting on a text message from the government to decide whether or not you eat this month. The shutdown should have been a wake-up call. It should have rattled you. It should have made you so uncomfortable that you started creating your exit plan. Write it down, make it plain, and be unapologetic about it. Because pressure produces clarity, and clarity reveals the truth. And the truth is, a nation with 42 million people dependent on government food assistance is not strong. A nation where health capable adults rely on monthly benefits instead of building skills, careers, and financial independence is not advancing, it's regressing. It's time to build. It's time to reposition. It's time to step up. So here's my challenge to you all, and I'm saying this with love, but and I'm not gonna be soft because I ain't got that. Let this government shutdown be the last time the government gets to scare you. Because when you depend on someone feeding you, you also give them the power to starve you. When you depend on someone to provide for you, you give them the power to take from you. And when 42 million people hand their freedom over to the government, even temporarily, that's not a safety net. That's a leash. But here's your good news. As one of my mentors used to say, here's your good news. A leash can be removed, a mindset can be changed, and a dependency can be broken. Your exit plan doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. The shutdown is over, but the lesson should stay with you forever. The government isn't your provider. You are. The government isn't your future. You are. And the day you stop waiting on them is the day you start building something they can't shut down. That is the key to your freedom, ladies and gentlemen. And the door is wide open. And one more thing I want to address, on the political front. Earlier this week, Democrats released this BS Epstein emails, and then they released something today, and then they had to delete it because they realized they got caught in a big ass lie. But of course, it doesn't matter. It's Donald Trump. So if Democrats say it and it's Donald Trump's name attached to it, it's the Holy Grail and it's the absolute truth. But here's the thing. Why would you bank on Donald Trump not biting back? He dropped this truth. Now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try and deflect from their disastrous shutdown and all their other failures, I will be asking Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, JP Morgan Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam, with all arrows pointing to Democrats. Records show these men and many others spent large portions of their lives with Epstein and on his island. Stay tuned. And so next week, when the Republicans vote to release the full Epstein files, the stuff y'all been screaming for, when y'all get it, oh, well. With that said, so what happened on this day in American history?
So what happened on this day in American history?
In 1851, Herman Melville released Moby Dick. It flopped at first, but later it became an American literary giant. It's funny how history works. In 1889, journalist Nellie Bly begins her Around the World in 80 Days race and beats it, finishing in only 72 days, a landmark moment for journalists and women adventurers. In 1961, basketball legend Wilt Chamberlain drops 44 points and 38 rebounds. Just ridiculous numbers. In 1969, NASA launches its second moon landing mission. The rocket gets struck by lightning twice after liftoff, but the crew recovers systems and still lands on the moon. In 1970, a plane crash kills 75 people, including most of Marshall University's football team. One of the worst sports tragedies in U.S. history. In 1987, George Michael releases his Faith album, one of the most iconic solo albums ever, loaded with hits and swagger. In 1991, Michael Jackson's Black or White short film premieres on network television. The event attracted over 500 million viewers worldwide, still one of the largest music video audiences ever. In the year 2001, the first Xbox was released in North America. Yes, Microsoft enters the console war. Halo Combat Evolved changes gaming forever. And on this day in the year 2010, Michael Vick's Monday Night masterpiece unfolded. Vick leads the Eagles to a 59-28 win over the Washington Redskins. With 6 total touchdowns, it is often regarded as one of the greatest quarterback performances in NFL history. Now, are we ready for an uncomfortable conversation?
Woo! All right. Let's switcheroo there. There you go. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's have some real talk, This is that moment no one wants to sit through. But we need to sit through it. So again, like I said last week, let me cook. I know we live in this microwave society where, if we ain't climaxing in 3 seconds, then I gotta go find somewhere, gotta get my dopamine, gotta go get it somewhere else. So shut up and let me cook. All right. Because there is a truth seething beneath the surface of a lot of comfortable narratives, and we're going to expose it. I'm talking about the NAACP. I'm talking about how in 2025 America, Black people no longer Okay, we're back. We're going to start over. This is a moment no one wants to sit through, but we need to sit through it because there's a truth seething beneath the surface of a lot of uncomfortable narratives, and we're going to expose it tonight. I'm talking about the NAACP. I'm talking about how in the year 2025 America, this institution that claims to stand for Black people may no longer be standing for all Black people. The NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, that was the name, that is its name. Back in 1909, this made sense. This concept made sense where the country was in 1909. It made a promise. We will advance you. We will open the doors. We will fight the systems. We will stand for you. But today, in my view, that advancement, if you're a Black person outside of the lineup of Democratic politics, if you're a conservative, if you're a Republican, a Black person who believes differently, that advancement seems conditional. And that's not okay. Let's call it what I believe it is. a gatekeeper organization for the Democrat Party. That's right. When you exclude Black people because they don't vote or believe or ally the way you think they should, then you are, by the very definition, not advancing Black people. You're advancing your version of Blackness. And that, my friends, is anti-Black. But again, I'm being logical, not emotional. And I understand that goes over a lot of y'all simple heads. So let's break it down. I'm saying the NAACP should rename themselves the NAADP, the National Association for the Advancement of Democrat People, because that's what it looks like now. If you're Black and you're aligned with Democrat politics, liberal politics, progressive politics, you get a nod. You're included. But if you're a Black Republican, a Black conservative, a Black Christian, a real Black Christian, not that Jamal Bryant stuff, a real Black Christian, a Black who doesn't buy into the victimhood narrative or the only us, political block, you get sidelined, you get ignored. And the same thing happens in the National Black Caucus. So think about it. I don't recall there being a prerequisite when the NAACP was founded that you had to be a Black Democrat to be supported. I don't recall that being part of the charter. But in 2025, that's what the practice suggests. Unless you are aligned with the left, the radical progressive agenda, abortion, trans ideology, big government, then the organization says we're not for you. That's exclusion. That's hypocrisy. So let's talk about Black celebrities, Black political figures, and how they treat Black Republicans and conservatives, because this is part of the same problem. How many times have you seen in our culture that if a Black woman is a Republican, they treat her like she's not worthy, she's not respectable, like she's somehow less Black? I mean, let's be real. Suppose Michelle Obama was a conservative. Suppose she was a Republican. Do you think the hand claps and she's the most beautiful first lady ever and she's so intellectual and well spoken and a great communicator? Do you think that narrative would hold weight if she was a conservative? Absolutely not. Absolutely freaking not. I say they would do exactly what they did to Winsome Earl Sears, who ran for governor of Virginia in 2025 as a Republican who happened to be Black. She's a business owner, a veteran, and an immigrant. They called this woman ugly. They compared her to Black men like James Brown, knowing damn well this woman looks like your mothers, your grandmothers, and the very slaves you claim to love and honor. And you just sat by, Black liberals sat by and allowed it to happen. Because she wasn't in your political lane. So it's not protect all Black women, it's protect the ones we agree with. So you tell me, how does this advance colored people? How does an organization that purportedly stands for Black progress support candidates who endorse biological boys in girls' locker rooms? How does that advance colored people? It doesn't. It undermines them. It confuses them. And it creates a division. You're acceptable if you're with us, and you're not acceptable if you're not with us. Let me give you a fact. The NAACP in its early days was founded by a coalition of Black, white, and yes, Jewish leaders. You had Romanian Jewish, Henry Moskowitz, amongst other founders. You had rabbis and Jewish philanthropists deeply involved in this organization. The history is real. But now it seems the organization is boxed into one ideology. If you don't fit it, you don't count. That history of broad coalition, it's been narrowed. Now let's look at Black Republicans in relation to the NAACP. Historically, the NAACP was on the whole supportive of Republican candidates in its earlier years. But over time, that changed. Today, you'd be hard pressed to find a Black Republican candidate endorsed by the NAACP. And when Black conservatives speak up, they're often sidelined, marginalized, made to feel less than. The paradigm is Black liberal, Black Democrat. That implicit requirement excludes the rest of us. So here's the core. You can't claim to advocate for Black people while simultaneously excluding Black people because of their political beliefs. That's anti-Black, you morons. If you only protect Black women when they check every left-wing liberal nut job box, and you ignore and mock Black women who are conservative or self-reliant, you are not about empowerment. You are about control. And that is the opposite of what colored people actually need. So let me say this plain. If you are part of an advancement organization that says we will advance you, but you pick and choose who you advance based on their politics, then you are not advancing all of us. You are advancing your faction. You bold-faced monkey hypocrites. You're fraudulent. So in closing, I'll say this. Excluding any Black person from a Black organization because they don't play the political game you set up is indeed anti-Black. So you live in a world of hypocrisy while proclaiming that you're supporting a community of people who have diversity of thought and who should have diversity of thought. That makes you a liar. That makes you a fraud. That makes you someone who needs to be disbanded. You're a group that needs to be broken up. The NAACP needs to be abolished. Because real advancement means all of us, not just the ones in the club, the ones you don't, that it also includes the ones you don't align with, the ones who speak a different truth, the ones who demand self-determination, responsibility, accountability. They matter too. So stand the hell up or get out of the way. And for those Black women who actually believe they are the backbone of the Democrat Party, here's your reality check.
Black women will save democracy. Black women are the backbone of the party. Sounds more like flattery with an agenda to me. Because notice what they don't say. They don't say Black women are the most empowered voters. They don't say Black women are finally seeing policies that work for them. That's because this isn't about celebrating us. It's about using us. It's political marketing dressed up as praise. See, they call us the backbone, but never the beneficiaries. We're praised for our loyalty, but ignored in our lived reality. When housing prices rise and the cost of groceries climb, single motherhood rates go up along with DV cases, when our neighborhoods aren't safer and our kids' schools aren't any better, where's the same energy they had when they needed your vote? Being Black and female shouldn't mean being predictable. We're not a monolith and our votes aren't property, but the stereotype is convenient. It lets politicians and media talk about us, not to us. Have Megan Thee Stallion throw it around and Beyonce partnered with welfare and we got them. It's pandering. It lets them profit off our image while never being accountable to our interests. If you ever really respected Black women, then stop using us as political talking points and start giving us tangible results, not recycled slogans. Because a few of them just got red-pilled and didn't even know it. Welcome to the conservative movement.
Amen. Amen. Let's not also like can we also remember that the triple K was harassing and suppressing Black Republicans. So the next time you think about that party switch y'all love to tout around, because the parties didn't switch, the people who may occupy the parties have switched, but the parties didn't switch. So think about how Black Republicans and conservatives are treated today versus how they were treated then. And then you get back to me with your party switch and your pro-Blackness, because you can't be pro-Black and exclude any Black person. I'm not pro-black, I'm pro-Christ. But I'm just letting you know you're a hypocrite and you're a liar. I said what I said. Now let's have some fun. This is our turntable rewind. Woo! Rewind back to the time. The year is 1996. And the number one song in the nation is No Diggity, No Doubt, on the charts on November 14th, 1996, becoming a defining track of the late 90s, powered by Teddy Riley's signature New Jack Swing style, smooth R&B harmonies, and Dr. Dre's unmistakable swagger. Every time I see the word swagger in a script, I just laugh. The song blends sleek production with a timeless bounce that still hits today, and that's a fact. It cleverly samples Bill Withers' Grandma's House, gave it a soulful backbone, and Queen Pen's verse helped introduce a new voice to the hip hop scene. By by this joint in 1996, No Diggity wasn't just a song, it was a cultural moment and took over radio, video, and parties everywhere. The number one album in the country on this day in 1996 was the Don Killuminati. I knew I was going to get that wrong. The 7-Day Theory by Tupac, aka Tupac as Machiavelli, as in Machiavelli, but as Machiavelli. Anyway, this was Tupac's first posthumous album and one of the most talked about releases in hip hop history. Recorded under the alias Machiavelli, the album carries a darker, more urgent tone, a raw mix of paranoia, anger, prophecy, and vulnerability. With only 7 days of recording, the project still debuted at number one and cemented Pac's legacy as an artist whose voice grew even louder after his death. By mid-November 96, the album wasn't just music, it was a cultural event, a symbol of loss, and a blueprint for future generations of rappers. Facts. Now, actually, I want to go back and revisit that. And the number one movie in the country. Prince, do you think I've seen this movie? Nope, I didn't see this movie. But the number one movie in the country was Independence Day. Independence Day was still riding the wave of being the highest grossing film of 1996, pulling in over $306 million domestically and $817 million worldwide. Massive numbers for its era. Yeah, could you imagine what ticket prices today? But that would be well over $1 billion. But anyway, the movie became a global blockbuster thanks to its groundbreaking visual effects, huge destruction scenes, and charismatic performances by Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. Audiences packed theaters for months, drawn in by the spectacle of alien invasions, an unforgettable White House explosion, and iconic lines like "Welcome to Earth." I don't even know how to say that because I didn't watch the movie. It's a blend of action, humor, and patriotic hype, made it a cultural phenomenon that defined 90s summer movies and still holds legacy status today. Now, let's get into our throwback story, which is not really a throwback story because it's actually happening in real time. So, of course, again, like I said, I'm going to be talking about this Michael Jackson biopic until it drops in April. And now we have a little bit of controversy with the casting of Michael Jackson, which is his nephew Jafar, who's Jermaine Jackson's son. And so the Michael Jackson impersonators are a little in their fifis because they didn't get casted. But I'm going to make this clear. Michael Jackson, first of all, you're playing a man who was like 4 different complexions in his life. So if you're imitating, which most people imitate the later Michael, so if you're imitating the later Michael Jackson, you're probably not going to get the job because he was a little brown boy, right? So he was brown up until the Bad album. That's when he became Puerto Rican. He became Puerto Rican for the Bad album, and then he got lighter, as the years went on. But anyway, Vitiligo. So anyway, so this one particular impersonator is Fabio Jackson. He's one of the biggest Michael Jackson impersonators, and as you can see, he has 12.4 billion followers on TikTok and probably millions more on other platforms. I didn't know who he was until this came up, but there's a video of him reacting to the trailer. We could play that, Prince. This is him reacting to the trailer. Now, I can't play the sound because I don't want to get no copyright. But so people were saying that his reaction just wasn't what they needed it to be. They said he looked like he was hating. He didn't look like he was excited for the film. He didn't seem like he cared, or he didn't like it, or he was jealous, all the types of stuff. So anyway, whatever. I mean, we all react to things differently. Obviously, folks like myself are hyped, and we're gonna talk about it all the way to April. But folks like him might be like, this is the trailer. It's cool. I'm gonna be there. All the Michael Jackson person, they're gonna show up. And you know what? Shut up. Maybe he did around the house. I don't know. But so this is Fabio Jackson's response to people saying that he was hating on it.
Exactly, I didn't say anything. So this is about my reaction to the Michael biopic. And it kind of seems surprising to me that so many people didn't know who was going to play the main role. I knew this 2 years ago, and
We
so
all
did
knew it.
everybody. Like, if you didn't know, then you were living under a rock. It's hard to say anything at the present moment because all we got was glimpses. All we got was silhouettes. All we got was short shots,
It's a
you know,
trailer,
and all we got was bouquet effect. You know,
not
it's not
bouquet.
enough to say
Oh,
anything.
it's not
But
enough.
I will be saying that the best part,
Uh,
as you saw, my reaction
uh,
was when I heard the voice. When I heard it, then that's when it became real to me. And it was
hmm.
like, whoa,
Okay.
something could be very potential here. And it was when Jafar said, Q, can you turn down the lights, please? That was the best part, I thought. And you
Okay, we
can
can
see
stop.
my reaction. I saw it like,
I mean, look, we all react to things differently. I saw other impersonators salty, and look. First of all, if you knew Michael Jackson, you knew one thing he said. He didn't care what race his impersonators were, but he did not want anyone who was not black to play him. Why? Because he's a black man. That's like Angela Bassett playing Elizabeth Taylor. Like, how would that work? It wouldn't. Right. So, he made it very clear. He's a black man, regardless of what skin issues he's having. He's a black man. And so he wanted a black person to play him. Okay, cool. That should be understood. This is the first film about Michael that really does his legacy justice. And and I don't understand. So let it unfold. I know this is gonna be epic. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my spirit. Like Michael, like Patti LaBelle said at the concert. Woo! I feel like it's gonna be one of them shows tonight, baby. I just know it because I know it, and y'all know it, and we all gonna be there. Anyway, stop hating. Congratulate Jafar. Be appreciative. And then you understand it's one thing to impersonate Michael Jackson on stage. It's another to know his life, right? It's another to know those nuances and those private moments that Jafar has. Jafar has those experiences where he's been in private conversations, where he's seen his uncle in moments where cameras weren't around and he wasn't on stage being Michael Jackson. He was on stage he was home, he's seen that side of his uncle. So he would naturally probably, and if he has the talent, be able to reproduce that. And clearly he is. And he went to a whole boot camp to get this part. So it wasn't something that just fell out of the sky for him. Anyway, oh wait, where are we? And now it's time. I'm about to announce the wrong segment. Anyway, and now it's time for an AJ throwback. Uh-oh. Put your hand on my skin. Put your hand on my skin. This is one of my skin shots. That's it. You know, I've been accused of liking myself too much. So I figured I'd show you how much I like myself tonight. Prince, fix your face. There's no nipple. It's all covered. I may or may not have on shorts. I don't know. But anyway, it's just a fun picture. This is a great shot. The light hit well. You know, the hat thing was my idea. And that's that. You know, it was a great moment. It was a great shoot. There was another shot, not from this shoot, that I was gonna share, but I figured it would probably be too much for TikTok. So I said I ain't gonna do it. But I was like, pick another. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you. See, you know, people understand that. People understand. It's okay to like yourself. And you know, I worked very, very hard to look like that. And so when you make a dedication to look like that, you know, you kind of got a little thing about you, you know, like, shoot, you put in these hours and these injuries and all the sacrifices, and you can't have cake. No, it's not a military. It's just a beanie. It's just a beanie that I unfolded and pulled down. Anyway, oh God. Would you stop commenting as me? People think I'm typing that. Anyway, so yeah, great shoot, great day, great times. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Oh, I have on a wristband. Oh God, do not put that on the screen, Prince. I hate it here. Man, leave me alone.
Don't just leave me alone.
Yes, that's gonna be me, baby. Y'all ain't ready for this biopic. Y'all ain't ready. Oh, y'all not ready for this biopic. It's gonna be epic. Epic. Epic.
Act black for $500.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom.
Because if it was up to me, I would have been transitioned to transgender. But the Lord found me where I was.
Look like you done wander off a little bit. I was lost. Bitch, you still ain't been found.
And check out this cute video that the OKC Zoo just posted.
Okay, you have to see this. This is Finn. We're about to show. Oh my goodness, take a look at him. He's a resident of the Oklahoma City Zoo. And this week, the zoo's ape caretaker took over their Instagram, and we are all loving that they did. And as you can see, Finn was fascinated.
Definitely ready for his close-up there.
Kind of looks like you. Kind of looks like you.
And this is her apology.
Because I want to apologize, not only to my coworker, Jason, but to our entire community. I said something yesterday that was inconsiderate, it was inappropriate, and I hurt people.
You say you wanted to fight me? Brother, I would knock you back into a boy. For real. I'm not him. I'm him, but not him to play with.
Damn! Oh God. Oh!
up.
You done? Oh, I did that.
What do lesbians do on their period? They finger paint. Finger paint.
Get through, keep me wondering why. When all I can do is sigh.
Check this out.
I just wanna touch you.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
I transitioned medically about 3 years ago as well, maybe a little bit before I did comedy, but I've been socially transitioning since I was probably like 14.
And medical means
hormones.
Right. And how are those affecting you? Is it still the same? Anything new? Are you like feeling more like a woman every day, or are you starting to get to like school shooter mode?
Shout the season. Turn around and tell those people. Tell them. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women.
Moms, I like girls.
What? No son of mine is going to be straight.
I want my booty cheeks intact.
Brave enough to swing the right way.
You guys ask about the butthole sunning all the time, and this is another one of my practices. I don't always talk about it, but it's well known that your sphincter or your butthole is one of the most sensitive or thin mucous membranes.
What? What the fuck?
Listen. If I had to watch it, y'all had to watch it. Oh God. Stand my life. Oh God. All right. Oh God. TikTok, please be okay. Like, I don't, you scrolling on Instagram and that came up and I was like, what the? Instant save, leave me alone folder. Michael Jackson, bro. So y'all heard Fabio. Now, he was going to sing. He was going to sing in the movie because I don't know if Jafar is singing. I don't know if Jafar is lip syncing to his uncle's vocals or if he's really singing. But if Jafar, if Fabio wanted to be Michael, is the singing? Is he gonna be singing like that? Because, again, just impersonate Michael. You don't have to sing the songs for real. Just lip sync like most impersonators do. You ain't got to sing live. We all know. Not everybody got the vocal gifts that Michael. Anyway, let's land at our inspiration point.
Anybody that has true devotion to Christ, you will be misunderstood. And there's some of you, man, who love Christ with all of your heart. We see your posts, we see your life, we see your devotion, we see your service, we see your giving, and you have people who even got your last name that don't understand you. Persecuted by sisters and brothers, persecuted by parents, persecuted by co-workers. I know I'm not the only one that has been persecuted for having a deep devotion to Christ. And I just want to inform you so you don't feel like a black sheep all the time. Wherever there is a person that's deeply devoted to Christ, watch this, you will be misunderstood. You are welcome, my brother. Wherever there is a person that's deeply devoted to Christ, you will be Why do you listen to so much William Augusto? Why are you always up praying early in the morning? You weird, you spooky, you crazy. Why you read your Bible so much? Why you always going to church on Sunday? How come you be giving offerings to the church? Why you be serving the poor? How come you be doing outreach? Man, how come you don't come to us with the club no more? And how come you don't do this no more? Ba 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 ba, da 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 da. Wherever there is deep devotion to Christ, you will be misunderstood.
Now it's time for some shout outs. Shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always holding me down, through whom which all of my blessings flow. Shout out to the production team for always keeping it solid. Major shout out to the RANT fam. Thank y'all so much for always supporting the live streams, the content, for always showing up when I need y'all. And once again, please make sure you like, share, comment, and if you're new here and you like what you saw, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified every time we go live or drop a new video. If you would like to monetarily support the channel, you can always go to AJsRANTroom.com and drop some of your hard-earned cash on our merch. We also take offerings in the virtual collection plate. Now, to some of you, this might be just another podcast, but to me, it's my next chapter and purpose, and I thank you for lending me some of your time. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you chose to give me a few moments of your day, and for that, I'm grateful. And with that said, I'm out.